Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to part two of the That Scuffed Up podcast. You had a very long first part. We'll see how long the second part is. But just the end of the year talks, the end of the year discussions, we're going through everything, and it's been neat, especially since we've been away from the podcast for the last few months or so. I just want to get it all out before 2025 finishes off. So, I'm back here with Tommy again with no Justin this time, no guest appearance from Justin, but we are back here with Tommy to go over some different wiffle ball. But just
Sure.
our things going with you from the super long time since it's been since we last recorded.
Yeah, it's been good. I'm preparing to go visit my new home in Ohio that I'm gonna go move to in the summer. So I'm really excited to go do that for the holiday season. What about you, Stephen? How you doing?
We're enjoying our time. Get the break away from school and break away from baseball team before the season kicks up. So I know we're enjoying we're enjoying the break and getting
Yeah.
getting a little refresh from all the wiffle ball that's happened and all the life that's
Good.
happened as well. So we're just trying to get settled and get things going here.
Yeah.
Um,
I will say, feeling a little extra blessed after doing Sunday night with CBSLA or Sunday doing CBSLA and praise the Lord, I won a moonshot today. So I get a brand new moonshot coming in for Christmas, which is really cool.
well, the LA
Praise the
Wiffles of
God is
OC
good.
are happy to take a donation if you.
God is good. I did make it orange, so always a little bit OC in there. I made it orange, and then I put the back grip has a little bit of light blue and pink for way too beautiful.
Yeah, well,
Ooh,
I mean, we can. Since you said it, I mean, we can discuss it quickly before we go into the BLW stuff. Some of the signings and the changes of rosters that we've seen so far. Um, one of those was ones that was just announced with you going to Way Too Beautiful. Originally, you were gonna be with the SoCal group. We're gonna have you, but we looked at the schedule and the and how it was all going to work out with trying to organize
yeah,
everything, and it just seemed like it was going to be just too costly, and we weren't going to be able to make the time for the
yeah,
six of us. So we wanted to give you the opportunity to let you go to another team so you can play a more full season and. It looks like you ended up on Way Too Beautiful. So just give us your thoughts on that.
Oh, I'm super excited. Yeah, just like for the viewers, like understanding like it's a lot to travel and have to pay to like go out because I went last year with occasions and it like took a big hit on my bank account to go out. It was worth the trip, but it was a lot. So, but way too beautiful. Very excited. Skip texted me 10 minutes after I entered free agency and like was like, "Hey, like we think you're the perfect fit." He looks at me like two paragraphs of like, and he just was been communicating with me. Millsy hit me up, Scoos hit or Millsy and Coos hit me up, and so I'm Dan Potter hit me up. I can't wait to meet Mike Collins. I'm very excited. Like I'm very excited to learn from them and a very energetic group, which I play with a lot of energy, and a lot of them are big believers in Christ. So I love being able to correlate with that, especially as a big follower of Christ. Like God, Jesus is like the most important thing in my life. So having that at the as part of my relationship with the team could be and is going to be very helpful for me. And that was like a big helpful making my decision to play with Way Too Beautiful. So I'm very excited, very excited.
Yeah. We'll open that works out good for you. I know we've seen some other moves and stuff and things as well. We've seen the Risers have a couple additions that have been announced with Russ Hamill. Just looking through the stuff on my phone. That I'm not just ignoring the camera here. And I just
Yeah.
have like Russ Hamill. That was announced pretty close, like pretty close after US, and then joined the Risers, and now just yesterday you had the announcement of Jeff Lopes. There's still a bunch of other
Wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Where'd Jeff Phillips go?
to the Risers as well.
Really? I didn't even know that. Was that announced on WCFT or Mid Atlantic?
No, it was on the Risers page. So that
Oh, I did. Okay, that's why.
yeah, so that was announced on there. I've had other stuff as well. You had the change of Vendetta for UWIFs. You had Dougie Baker moving over from the Dragons to Vendetta. for US and for as well as for the East Coast Wiffle League.
ECW. Oh, that's for
So
US as well.
yeah, that will be for both. That will
Oh,
be and there will be more news coming in with the new year and stuff like that. So
well, we got
uh,
to talk about. There's one more. There's one more big one that happened like earlier. Other kind of quick. Aiden McCarthy to the process.
that one happened pretty much like like the, within like hours of him saying he was a free agent. So and it was a potential discussion amongst the SoCal group. It was like just trying to figure out who to just trying to figure out the full roster and things like that. Whether it be just whether whether all of us would be in or not, and so that would happen very quickly. But there will be more as we go along as well. Looking forward to hearing about those, and there's a lot of other free agents that are available for different teams to use and all of that. So should be interesting with all these guys. Some interesting names on the out there for free agents, and we'll see how things just switch up for US as well. I'm sure we'll get that occasionally now for occasionally here and then for US for next year. So just trying to advance up. Teams trying to advance up. So we'll see how that all works out. But uh, big thing for us to talk about for this for this podcast is going to be the beginning of the BLW season, beginning of the BLW fast pitch tournaments. A lot of big changes were announced in the off season, from having owners to having the 10 teams to the rosters of the 10 teams. I mean, as we're getting all this information, uh, just looking at all the different stuff that's coming in, in terms of venues, in terms of uh, the owners, in terms of just everything going on. What was your before this all began? What was what were your kind of feelings on this on this BLW circuit, and especially compared to last year where you were on one of the teams? This is the first time for me with being on one of their official teams.
Yeah. It was very exciting. Like getting experience last year was cool, but I know like last year was more of a practice run to see what this year was going to bring, and so it was just a lot of excitement to like hear that we were going to travel to places, picking up, playing with friends, and then also picking up players like Cam Smith and Jeremy Adams, and being able to have them kind of joining us, some of us Cali boys, and also Arizona, to kind of just round out a more mixed team of different talent from different places. So it's really awesome. Or it was very exciting. It was just pure excitement. I was excited to travel and play and be able to go explore and visit parts of the country. Or yeah, parts of the country. What about you, Stephen? How did you feel when BLW was kind of announcing the way it was?
Yeah, first, the team ended up being pretty funny for us because there was a lot of guys that performed very well at US. Our team you had 5 of the 6 guys were in the U.S. finals. One of them being Dan Whitener, who won, and then you also had Preston Colm, who was the U17 MVP. Going to that was cool. With that group, tournaments was cool. Just seeing the different stuff was very interesting to me. The different team announcements, just seeing the different owners and all that stuff, and hearing certain guys be at certain events. Like Kevin Costner in Arizona. Was going to be very interesting for me. Just to see those people actually being there in person. Was looking forward to that. Uh, it's just another chance
It was really
to
cool.
play some wiffle ball for the
Yeah,
most part. So just keep playing. Usually after US is kind of usually have the for at least
yeah,
for
the
me it's been the
break.
first Arizona tournament, and then you just kind of chill after that. So
Yeah,
this is going to be different. It's going to be more year round, I guess. So
yeah.
was looking forward to it, and just was interested to see how everything was going to shape up.
Yeah. I think it's been pretty good. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, that was really cool to see Kevin Costner in Arizona. Like he was really there watching the game. It was really fun.
Yeah, we'll start off with that first Arizona tournament. Um, you had the regular 10 teams as well. You had some other challenger teams out there as well. Plus, you had the recreational division. You had it in the I'm blinking on the name. I'm blinking on the exact name of the stadium. I'll have it here in just a sec.
Scottsdale Salt River Stadium.
Yeah, it was just Scottsdale Stadium.
No, Scottsdale Stadium.
Yeah, it had it there. It had it at the spring training facility there as it was there 2 years ago, I believe. They had it at this venue in 2023. They had the BLW Classic, which was the first Arizona event that we went to. So yeah. I mean, just looking at this tournament. I mean, it was a it was an interesting tournament. I thought it was a very good tournament overall. As the Mirage, you guys went 1-1 and then lost in the quarterfinals to the eventual champions in the naturals. What were your kind of overall thoughts on the tournament? I don't know if you want to go any other more
Yeah.
talking points into this. What were your kind of overall thoughts on the
Um,
day?
I think like for us, like we were trying to. It was kind of like a feel of like what our team, because our like what our team was gonna look like, the dynamics and how it was gonna go. Because like our team is like a different, it's just a lot of different personalities and different people in the game. Like you have someone like Cam Smith who's been playing for like the past 6 years competitively, who's made it to a Final Four at UIFs and has competed at a high level for the Canes and the Cardinals and the Midwest Monstars, and so and is like super competitive NWA. So like this guy's like a known all-time player in the past 5 years, while we then had like Jackson Albers and Braden or Jackson Albers and Gabe, who are not as much in the scene for fast pitch, who are kind of getting like they're just starting their careers in the more competitive realm. And then you have people like Braden, who's like new but like played UF, so was like getting back into it. And also that tournament he was recovering from an arm injury, so we were kind of like trying to like figure out like where he was at. And then me, like who I'm like I've been there for the past couple of years, but I'm also new. I'm not usually a captain for the teams I play on, so like I was like I'm a captain right now, and so taking on that manager role, trying to go to like the team for a lot of help, especially Cam. So I'm trying to learn a lot from Cam because he's done it before. He's been there before. He's won the big games. He's lost the big games, and he know and so yeah, it was good. To be honest, I don't have much to say. Like I just will say like we played. I think we did better than the expectations that were put on us, but it helped us leap into the future. That's it. What about you, Stephen? How did you describe Arizona for the Scorpions?
Yeah, I mean, we'll go into we'll go into the specific picture and things like that. But I mean, looking at the Mirage here, you guys started off with a win over one of the challenger teams in the Primos. Then had had a tie versus the Green Apples, and then a close game versus the Scorpions and a 2-1 loss. And you got you guys the 6 seed. You got you guys in a decent spot, and then unfortunately the Naturals fell to the 3 seed, so you had to go play them right away. The quarterfinals. I think that was a 3-1 game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it's a good game.
So
Yeah, it's tough. It's
oh,
tough.
excuse me.
Like I think like I don't want to talk a lot about like what happened at the tournament. I think the Green Apples game was winnable. Jeremy threw a no-hitter and like I think that was winnable. Gus Gibby absolutely cooked us, and he cooked me. Like dude, he threw a 55-mile-an-hour riser, hit the bottom of the zone. It was insane. That was clipped. It was insane. So I was like yeah, and then against you guys like it was good. Like it was just there's not you kind of know like there's I don't want to like there's more to talk about, not more to talk about. I think it was just like a good starting point for our team, and figuring out like what the dynamics were.
I mean, especially with a group like that, where it's different people from different backgrounds being and different ages being brought together. And especially that first one's kind of a figure it out. So, um,
Yeah,
I'm not sure many teams overall are gonna expect to beat the Naturals anyways. So,
yeah,
not a horrible
yeah,
result for you guys.
yeah. It's tough. It's tough that we didn't have Braden. Braden would have threw that game, but he was still like you were there. You as we talked about it a little bit. Like Braden's arm was like kind of building back. Like that week he finally said his arm was feeling better, but it still wasn't like completely like better. And so it
Yeah,
was like
but better be
trying to figure things out.
smart with him. Because
Yeah.
I mean, he's he's a guy that will want to throw at any time. So sometimes you gotta stop people for their own good, and as it goes. So, which I mean, I think that was the best decision for him. I think he would probably admit that afterwards. I was,
Yeah.
you want to compete, you don't want to admit that at the time, but
Yeah.
smart. It was smart there in the end. I mean, overall, looking at the landscape of this tournament, um, yeah, you had some teams that probably did better than that did better than expected. You had some teams that were that really struggled and maybe just didn't do as well as they would have thought. I mean, I'll let you if you want to pick out a team to whether it was good or bad to talk about here. What
Um,
was like big team that you thought was either like really good or like did better than expected or was not as good as expected.
yeah, I think there's a couple that come to mind. I think I have one for each. I think the big one that struggled that like kind of caught me off guard, especially because I just played US with them with like a couple of with Brody and Logan, was the Pandas going 0 and or 1 and 2. Yeah, 1 and 2.
Yeah,
That was like a big shock to me. Not that like what was a big shock to me is that their offense was lacking because Logan and Brody were coming off pretty good UIF turn. Like Logan especially like brought the bat strong at UIFs. And so I was like very shocked to like see like their just offense plummet that tournament. And their pitching also didn't have really good backup pitching as well. It was just kind of Brody getting the one win in that game. And then the other team that like caught me off guard was the Bats. They played really well. They pitched really well and they got the wins when they needed the wins to make it to the playoffs.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, you can. You can also question the bats a little bit in that first tournament with the fact they
Yeah,
had two wins and did not have a single hit the whole tournament. But uh,
very true. Very true.
I mean,
Like it's tough. That team, the thing with the Bats is their team is like full of guys who are new to the fast pitch realm or haven't played at a higher competitive level. Like Justin Hall is probably their most veteran player, and even to him, even he's new. This was like his first year playing competitive, and it's like, then you have like people like Bryson, who's been playing yellow bat for a long time, who's trying to get his name into fast, who's been now getting into fast pitch with playing Mowif and stuff like that. So it was like it's a young team, or like people like Keaton, and Keaton's hurt right now. Like a big loss was that Keaton's hurt, and so you're seeing a lot of guys like Drew Ballman, O'Rear, and stuff like that who are used to the Missouri scene, who are just getting into that competitive fast pitch realm. And so hitting's one of the tougher things to adjust when you're playing at a high level of fast pitch.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's understandable. I mean, at the end of the day, you did get two wins, and you were smart with not swinging at balls. So
Yeah.
I know one of those games for the bats was versus the Pandas. With the Pandas, it seemed like there wasn't a whole lot go. I mean, maybe he's a little bit to us, so unfortunate, but
Yeah, it's
we're
all
going to talk
unfortunate.
about it. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, I know
Or-
this is a tournament they're going to want to forget. I heard they didn't have a hit until the third game, which it
Yeah.
was a 2-0 win over the Orcas when they were already essentially knocked out of the tournament. But yeah, I mean, the pitching was not there either. Not there either. I think Jackson in their first game walked the first five guys, and they tried to go from something else from there. And yeah, it was
Yeah.
overall a little bit of a rough day for them. Um,
Yeah, the one thing with the Pandas that I think they're starting to like go a little bit is they're honestly one of the younger teams in the tournament. That like they also like their oldest, I think the oldest guy on their team is Brody. And even Brody's like 22, 21. Like it's a young team trying to navigate. And last year they had a really good run, but the competition's at a higher level now. So they're still trying to navigate that. And I think they struggle with a leadership role. Like, yes, they have their Logan's the captain of the team or like the manager, but like I think they struggle with like who's gonna like be a leader and stuff like that, and like trying to pass the ball, like who's gonna and stuff like that.
yeah, well, we'll talk more about them for the Chicago tournament because things did turn around for them there. But the Bats were able to make it as the 5 seed into the playoffs.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Philadelphia Wiffle Club, who finished up as the 1 seed. They had a nice win in pool play versus the Naturals actually. I know they had two other easier teams that they played, but to get a win versus the Naturals in pool play was a was a good sign for them. Uh, you even had the Scorpions who had I believe the second toughest draw and ended up going 3-0 in pool play and got themselves a 2 seed just because of the run difference. They did get the 1 seed. They had a good pool play with some with two come from behind wins and some good moments in there. Uh, Apple started off with a loss and a tie and kind of had to bounce back in game 3. They won when they needed to versus the Saguaros to get themselves into the playoffs. So you saw some good competition all over the place. Um, you saw some good competition all over the place. Saw some good games. Saw some results you'd expect. Saw some results you maybe wouldn't expect so much. But eventually we did get down to the playoffs. We talked a little about yours with the
Yeah.
Mirage taking the loss to the Naturals. You had uh, the Scorpions beat the Green Apples in a weird game. I'll talk about that a little bit.
I
Um,
know Harbor Hawks beat the Philadelphia Football Club.
he had an 8-1 matchup, and then
Gotta
Saguars
be
beat the
honest. Can
Bats.
I just gotta say this. Randy was being Randy in Arizona. Randy was just being Randy.
Nice
Yeah,
little hometown tournament for him. Yeah, well, as we
yeah.
keep going, we'll talk more about him. But Randy was having a very good day out there. Uh, yeah, especially when he got on the mound, it was a very good day for him. But
Yeah.
uh,
And I
go for it.
can I say something real quick? Add something a little bit. And I think something that I'm excited to see, like something I think like it's really fun to see these like different people from other places that they finally get to like Josh getting like to see like Philadelphia and the Bats get to compete against people like Randy Dalby, who's a West Coast guy, because us West Coast guys face each other all the time. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen SoCal versus Vegas in a semifinals, quarterfinals, or a finals. Like, or the Cajuns is thrown into that too. So to kind of get like kind of for the Missouri guys to get like a Randy Dalby at a fresh Randy Dalby matchup is kind of really cool to see. I know it sucks that they lost, but like that's the stuff that's going to get them better. That's all I want to add.
Yeah, kind of that's in a similar group to where some of those guys are still relatively new to the fast pitch as well. Been participating out there in MoWIF and in other leagues out there, but you get a different side when you go to a US or a tournament like this. So you get to see some different stuff, get to see some different people that you maybe were not before, but um, that's the way it goes. With those wins, you had the Harbor Hawks taking on the Saguaros in one of the semifinals, and then you had the Naturals and the Scorpions taking on each other in the other semifinals too. A very good matchup there. I want to look at this Harbor Hawks one. They end up being a 2-0 game in the semifinals with with Randy hitting a 2-run home run.
That's
Was the difference maker in this game.
Randy being Randy in Arizona. That's all I'm gonna say.
Uh,
That's
f-
Randy being freaking Randy.
Threw a 4 inning shutout, hit a 2-run homer to give him to to give him the lead. And that's all he needed.
That's
He
all
had,
he
he had a
wrote.
he had a very interesting Scorpions Naturals game. Well, first of all, let's. I mean, no, the Scorpions is obviously my team, the team that I'm on. We can dive in a little more about the Scorpions as well. Nearly blew it there in the quarterfinals. We had some good
Oh
hitting
yeah.
throughout the day. We had played the Green Apples earlier, beat them 6-3, then beat the Harbor Hawks 7-2, and then beat the Mirage 2-1. And the offense continued on versus the Green Apples early, and Dan Whitener was pitching lights out. First 3 innings, he had a perfect game, and then this the Yeah, it's not always just about the physical ability for wiffle ball. It's also about the preparation and or lack thereof for for some of our guys for this tournament with getting in with late nights and whatever else on a Friday night. It got to be a little rough at times for the guys, and we saw that on display in the fourth inning where the Green Apples they scored 3 runs in the top of the fourth to make it a comeback and. Had a runner on second base with nobody out to give him a chance, but luckily we had bringing Jackson Pearson to close out that game, and he finished it out well to give us a win. But that was a little bit of that was a scary moment for us, and it's like okay, what are we doing? Like, are we like how are we going to win a tournament like this? Like that kind of thing. So. It was interesting, but then you also had a very good matchup between the Naturals and the Scorpions, where I mean we'll get into more, but I mean Connor Jaso was. I mean, you talk about Randy was on a different level. Connor Jaso seemed to be at that level higher for this tournament as well, and we'll talk a lot more about him. But yeah, it just seemed like Connor Jaso was just on a different level.
It's insane. Like Connor, like in like we kind of mentioned it in the UF, like the UF, like kind of like talking about like the hitting and stuff like that. It's like Connor, I think after UF, like he took that loss, the loss in the national championship personal, and he like you can tell like he's on a mission to not lose another wiffle ball game. Like when you like it's crazy, and like watching him in that tournament, like he just was so determined to like do whatever he could to win that game, to win the game, and it's awesome.
His pitching was even more lights out than it was at US. He was great from the start versus us. Only allowed one base runner in combined in the semifinals and in the finals. I wonder who did that. Uh, I mean, Jason was Jason was lights out in this tournament. Through a shutout versus us to advance them to the finals. Logan Christie had the game the decider here. He had Jordan Robles led off with a walk, and then Logan had a RBI double. Just Preston wasn't quite able to get there, and I know he was going to like try to kick the ball to stop it, but that wouldn't have wouldn't have worked either way. But we were trying we were rallying a little bit in the fourth. The first 3 innings were 3 perfect innings from Jay but I led off the bottom of the fourth inning with a leadoff double. Then there was a ground ball by Sawyer to advance the runner to third, and 3-2 count. Dustin hit a crazy spinner that ended up putting the ball back in fair territory, and it was very close. We could have possibly called a trap and a misfield or an error to score the run, but that was not called there. And Naturals take that 1-0 over the Scorpions.
That was a good game.
I think it was a very good game to watch, especially at that point. You had more people coming in, getting ready for the final, so they got a good show there as well. So we get to the final. You got the 3 seed Naturals, the LA Naturals versus the 8 seed Boston Harbor Hawks. As we talked about, it's going to be Randy Dalby versus Connor Jason on the mound, and right away both these guys were elite and pitching very well. Jason ended up throwing a perfect game in this one, and also ended up with the game winning RBI double. The only hit in this game to give the Naturals a 1-0 victory. It was different finals. You had more interaction with the crowd, so I just want to talk about it. You want to talk about it from your side, being in the stands and watching that game.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like the stands are full because like that's Kevin Costner pulled up like as like the SoCal or sorry my bad Scorpions and Naturals game was ending, and so it was just really cool to like kind of see the crowd come in and like there was a whole like they announced the players coming out kind of like they do at UF, so it was just really cool. It was awesome. Logan had me like start chants and stuff, and get involved, and so we were just having a blast. I was just sitting with the Sororo guys, sitting with Bryce Clark, just having fun and laughing, goofing off, and so it was a lot of fun. It was a really fun game, really fun to watch with the pitching too.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very competitive game. No, I was watching it from the dugout. I was over on the side. I was had some other stuff I was dealing with at the time, so I just didn't want to. I just wanted to I just wanted to watch it from over there and just think about a lot of different stuff. So was fun to see that game overall. Watch how it played out, and the Naturals Naturals do. I mean, the first tournament last year, Naturals went 0-3 without a full roster, but this year they got off to a good start. Going 5-1 in the tournament overall and losing that one pool play game, but won their last game, and that was that's all you can. That's the main thing you can ask for a situation like this in Arizona.
Yeah, for real, it was good.
Yeah. I feel like that's about the main stuff for Arizona. There were some good performers out there as well. Some guys did. Some guys had some nice days out there. I'm trying to pull up some of these stats.
I know Nick and Andrew. I know Nick had like led the tournament in hits, and he had a really good hitting tournament. Or he was
both those
second.
guys had 8 hits
Yeah,
on
there
the
we go.
day. What is I'm trying to
He,
find it here. Who they
you had 7 or 8 on the day too. I know
I had
you.
7 for the tournament.
Okay.
I was right behind them. With that tough schedule and who we played, and who we faced
Very
on the mound,
impressive.
getting 7 was pretty nice, and also being the only base runner off of Jaso the whole day was was nice. We talked about both Randy and Connor pitching. Both of those guys won 2 games on the mound, and were very effective on the day. And did a lot for their team, get their team into the final. Um, so great
Yeah.
job and great stuff by them. Um, yeah, it seems like things were a little bit more like balanced and spread out. Just looking at stats like ERA, you didn't have like one guy throw like a ton of games. It seems like the most games anyone pitched was Randy with 3, and that was just pitching all the playoffs. So
Mhm.
everyone else was either on 1 or 2 games that pitched. Uh, so things were a lot more spread. Things were a lot more spread out here than say like a U.S. tournament where you have like Dan Whitener pitching in 4 or 5 games and all that stuff. So things were a little more spread out. So pitching was a little more balanced, I'd say.
Yes, for sure. It was a very competitive tournament. It was a good start to the BLW season.
Yeah. To me, it was the best run BLW tournament as well. With the last 2 years, just having the things worked out in terms of rules or anything else like that. Everything seemed to be pretty good. So it was good to see. But with Arizona wrapped up that finish, and that took place October 25th. I want to say it was. October 25th at Scottsdale Stadium. We then moved to I can't count 3 weeks 3 weeks later, where we had where we had the BLW Chicago tournament. This one took place at
Sure.
the
Well, you keep
like
explaining. I'll be right back.
the Parkway Sports Complex. Um, Took place there right near the Jenny Finch Stadium or the park and things like that. Right next to the O'Hare Airport. Uh, and you had a different group of teams out there. You had probably a more talented group of challenger teams. You had guys like the meets. It's not the full meets because you have from their main U.S. team. You have like Tyler Flackney's on the Green Apples, and they were not able to get a cave on out there. You had the meets out there. You had the Midwest Mafia out there, which is Liam Porter and his group. You had On the Rise, which is Cale Foreman and Connor Smith in their group. And you also had the Circle City Wombats, which is a group of some of the guys from Indiana, from the Circle City League, where you see we're the same league as like Mike Whitty and Will Smithy and Brendan Dudas and Reed Warner, who are on teams here in this circuit. So he had some very good competition out there in Chicago. It was an indoor facility, which is good because it was about 35 degrees during the day. It was set up for some good competition in that day, and overall, I think we saw a lot of good lot of good competition and some
Yeah.
different results than we'd seen at the first tournament or we were even expecting and things like that. So, what were some of your initial thoughts now that you're back on
Yeah.
getting into Chicago and building up to that?
I think Chicago was really fun. It's just like it's just really cool because some of the players haven't been to Chicago or like it was like their first time like for some guys and it just was really cool. Playing indoor was different. I've practiced indoor before. Like we've done some indoor like practice, but like to play a tournament indoors was really different. And I just think the overall vibes was really awesome. Like I got to see a buddy of mine from Michigan who is like my best friend. He's my best friend all ever. And so getting to see him was very special for me, and that was just a really cool moment to like be able to see him and for my mom to watch me to play for the first time. So it was a really cool. Chicago was the one that I was very excited for building up to it, and it lived up to its expectations for sure.
Yeah, no, I've got some family out in Chicago. I was able to see one of my aunt and uncle out there. They were out there to watch the first two games for me for the day. So that was cool. That was cool. I think it might have been for three. I can't remember exactly if they stayed for the last one or not, for the
Yeah.
last pool
See
play game
my
or not. But
That's my buddy got to watch my first two as well.
you get it. Luckily, it was indoors because if it was outside, we would not be playing because
It'd be
it,
freezing
it was
and
it,
windy.
it's cold in Chicago at that time of the year, and I'm probably editing this while I'm in Chicago, which is apparently it's supposed to be like 50 degrees on Christmas morning. So
Jeez.
that's go outside and start tanning out there for the Chicago people. So.
That's a good
Uh,
day for some football.
Yeah, well, we could talk a lot about Bears football. We could talk a lot about Chicago football and how that's going great right now. I appreciate that being brought up. So we love to see, and of course we had Justin on the podcast. I didn't want to rub it in too much, but we're rubbing it in. We're very happy over here.
Yeah,
That's all I gotta
where I'm
say.
going to for the holidays, the hottest day is gonna be 52 degrees. Every other day is gonna be 46 and below. So,
Well,
some
you'll take that for this time of year,
nice
to be
weather
honest.
with some rain. Nice
Oh,
weather out in Ohio.
well, you're gonna have to get used to it. So,
I know. Oh, it's gonna get to 18 degrees next week too.
oh, perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect weather for some wiffle ball.
Bringing it back here to the tournaments. With it being indoors and in different area, brought up some new challenges, and some more opportunities for teams to stand out and do better. Either improve on their last tournament, or in some cases, teams could go the opposite way. Just I mean, looking at this, what was a team you thought really kind of improved themselves and made their case better than just had a good boost compared to Arizona going to here.
Like the from their play in the whole tournament.
Yeah. Who'd you
Yeah.
feel like really improved from like tournament 1 to 2? Now having a
Honestly,
tournament down
no.
going to here.
Yeah. I honestly like I know I don't want to toot our team's horn, but I think us like the Mirage really had a big because like in our last tournament we were 1-1-1 and then we lost, so we were 1-2-1. So we weren't like and the team we beat was a challenger team who they're new to fast pitch as well. So like I kind of was like, damn, we didn't really like we haven't won like a really like we haven't really played like the competition yet and have beat a league team. And so I think going into that tournament, it was like, all right, like this is like we gotta like show that we can compete with these other league teams. And I think we really showed that we can be competitive and be in these games and compete at a high level.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you guys had a you guys, as you said, you guys went 3-2 and ended up making it to the semifinals. Um, at a I mean, pretty much anything is a nicer quarterfinals matchup than the Naturals. You guys were able to you guys were able to win your first elimination game here in this circuit, and advance yourself up in the point standings as well. So,
Yeah, it was awesome.
yeah, we had other we had other interesting results here. We had the Harbor Hawks being the 8th seed again, as they were the
Of course,
first tournament. Uh, no, we saw that we saw the Pandas improve from this tournament as well. Yeah, I want to. They ended up making the semifinals. They went 2-1 in pool play, and then were able to defeated the Bats in the first round, and then lost to the Saguaros. But one of the big stories was the pitching of the of the Pandas, or I should say the pitcher of the Pandas with Brody going 4+ games. I mean, I just talked
yeah.
about it with Arizona how no one really won it. I mean, not only Randy was the one to go above 2 games. All of a sudden, you have Brody going here, pitching in 5 games, and
Jeez. Gosh, my arm wants to fall off right now.
it's
Like
like
that.
I mean it did lead to more Panda success, but I mean, do you think that's something that's going to be sustainable for him and for the team?
No. Only, and this is not even because Brody's talent. It's because Brody. So Brody and I were actually talking about this when I was in Missouri playing Moab. Brody was like talking about how much wiffle ball he's played, and he's played a lot of wiffle ball. And like he competed, he's right now like you guys are seeing, he's in the NWA World Series. He competed in the Moab World Series and won, and he's just like constantly playing. And so I think like pitching so much, his arm's it's gonna just get more tired. So I think the Pandas like finding that second arm that they can go to more games, or even a third arm, because there's like talent like Jackson Blum and Luke Rose can really pull out a game for them, and I think they have a very talented opportunity with those two. So I'm hoping that they're able to use Luke and Jackson next tournament. But yeah, like I don't think it's sustainable. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, one thing we know was not sustainable was the arm sleeve. That thing.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna literally like hold my arm sleeve, bro. Like, dude, this man not holding my beard, it's hold my arm sleeve. Like, dude, he
Yeah,
just he took control. But I'll give it to the Brody. Like, I love Brody. I'm literally wearing my Lit City jersey. Like, dude, literally will do anything to keep his team alive and win. Like, he wants it bad, and so I just hope that. And I think from the performance, it showed that they all really want to compete at a high level and do well. So I really hope this next tournament, instead of like them doing that same game plan, they think of like a more sustainable long term game plan so that they're able to succeed. They're able to succeed throughout the tournament to where they're not throwing a fifth game for one arm, but maybe a third game.
yeah. I mean, yeah. You just gotta. You just gotta be able to manage that. Um, yeah,
I'm telling you, it's the managing. It's the
well,
who's gonna take like a leadership role, even if it's Logan or Brody or Jackson stepping up and saying like, "Hey, I really could pitch this game." Like, it's someone taking a leadership role and be like, "Hey, like, let's do this. Let's try to stick together. No matter what, we back up each other." And I think if they can do that more often, they'll see even more success than what they had in Chicago.
yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously we know Brody's a competitor and is able to do it, but I mean, just like we talked about with Brady, sometimes you gotta stop a guy or save a guy from himself. So
Yeah.
it's all. I mean, I'm sure they'll figure out something for this next tournament. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's no, we want Brody to be able to last past this next year and
Yeah, I was gonna say
keep
we want
going
Brody to
after
be able to
that.
play
So.
long years of wiffle ball.
I mean, he's not doing baseball anymore either, so he doesn't have that stress. But I mean, sometimes having the baseball conditioning can just keep the arm in good shape, even if it's just out there with practice. And that's what I've felt in my career this is my first year not playing college baseball either. So it's just as we're getting some
True.
examples of arm care over here from Tommy.
Hey man. Hey.
So
No, I agree. I agree. That was a navigating thing for me in 2024 was quitting baseball and then being like, all right, now I don't have baseball where I'm throwing every day and taking care of my arm. Like, how do I take care of my arm for wiffle ball and more of a, yeah. So and I know Brody actually, Brody's taking me through his warm up routine. He takes care of his body really well, and that's why he's able to throw 5 games. Like it's hard to throw 5 games. Like that he's able to do that is really impressive at his intent. But yeah, I just hope that they have someone that can kind of step in and be like, I think Blum actually, I think Blum's gonna do that next tournament after Sunday. I think Blum's gonna step up and be able to throw 2 to 3 games, and he figured some stuff out. I just hope he doesn't ask every time after, "What's the radar say? What's it say?"
yeah, we'll talk more about the CBS LA shoot later. But
Yeah, my bad, my bad,
I'm
my
also
bad.
yeah, so also figured a different ball he likes. So I'm literally in the process of cutting 10 balls for him. I've already made
Okay,
three that I gave to him. But
Sawyer has balls ready for me and some wiffle balls in
pause.
Michigan ready for me to cut for him. I know, I
There you
changed
go.
the phrase, I
There you go.
rephrased it.
You
Yeah,
fixed it at the end.
I fixed it. Yeah.
Second straight podcast with a pause moment. I think I did a pause for Justin. You'll be able to see it in there. But you know, going through this tournament, Nachos went 3-0. Kind of what we expected in pool play. Even though they had a tough pool play draw, ended up going 3-0. Scorpions were the 2 seed at 2-0-1. That was one of the one of the more interesting games of pool play to start off the day. Was a 0-0 tie. You wouldn't think it's that interesting with a 0-0 tie and only one hit in the whole game, but for one of my interesting results to start off the day between the Scorpions and the Bats, where uh, Preston pitched extremely well on the mound. 4 innings pitched,
Mhm.
only gave up one walk and had 12 strikeouts, and then uh, Bryson Livingston, in the words of Brody, maybe had the best. That was the best pitching game of his life. I felt like he threw about 5 pitches off the metal the whole time. Just literally, it seemed like everything just kept touching the corners. It was, it was. I mean, it was stupid to try to figure out. To be quite honest, but but and we get to the third at bat. I fouled off about 4 in a row because I feel like I'm just missing this stuff, and he just breaks out a changeup for the first time ever, and he's like, "Yeah, that's like the third time I've ever thrown that." It's like, what the hell? Like,
Hey,
what are we
hey,
doing?
remember,
Come on.
you're the unlucky guy that goes to that because remember I threw my first ever curveball to you
Oh yeah,
and
I do remember
and you're
that.
like he's never done that before in his life and it's because I never actually have in a
I
tournament.
wasn't
That was my
wrong.
first ever. Yeah. See, you get the unlucky, bro. People like trying new pitches. It's because you're that good though. It's because you're good. Like you're that good at hitting where people can't just throw the same stuff. They have to try new things to get you out.
It's like sick. Like, how am I supposed to know if it's coming if you've never thrown it before? It's like you've thrown it so little.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I felt like this was a day I was just every pitch just seemed to go against me just on the corners. But it was an interesting game to start off. But I mean, we did bounce back, win our next two to get the 2 seed. You had the Green Apples have a good start in pool play, went 2-0 to start off, and then lost their last game but they still secured the 4 seed, I believe it was. Bats got the 3 seed. They did get their first hits in Chicago. Uh, they ended up going 2-0-1 pool play as well. They were able to get the bats going there. Panda, you were the 5 seed as a Mirage. Yeah, the Green Apples is the 6 seed, and then you had the Saguaros all the way down. The Saguaros started off 2-0, and then the Scorpions
Wait,
played
wait,
them.
wait, wait, wait. Wait, who was the 6 seed? Was it the Green Apples? I thought the Green Apples were the 4 seed.
No, it was the Pandas.
Oh,
Yeah, Pandas were the 6 seed.
Pandas was. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I might have said Green Apples again. I don't know, but
No, I was
anyway.
just double checking because yeah, no, okay.
Yeah,
So
Pandas
Pandas
in
six
the
seed.
six. The Zagoros were right in line with the Naturals in the top 2 seeds, and then they played the Scorpions, and the Scorpions beat them 6-0 in pool play, and up dropping all the way down to the 7th, which didn't mean good. Which was kind of unfortunate because then you get another Saguaro Scorpions matchup right away. And then the Harbor Hawks, as we mentioned, finish off the 8 seed again. So once again, no outside teams made it into the playoffs. I believe
Yeah, no challenger
The Meats
teams.
just missed. Yeah, the challenger teams. The Meats just
See,
missed
that's
out by
see
run difference, I
that was a
believe.
shock to me was the meats missed out, but Kayvon wasn't able to come. If they had Kayvon, they would have been in for sure. Because Kayvon would have been their arm that they could have gone to. And they had a tough schedule.
Yeah, they had a lot of those teams had a tough schedule. Um, Meats also. I mean, tough. Tyler Flackney is with the Green Apples, so he couldn't play with them. Yeah, teams like On the Rise ended up 0-2-1. The Wombats were 0-3, and then the Midwest Mafia were 1-2 to round things off. And then from the Orcas were they were 0 they were 1-2 in the Arizona tournament. Had some very close games here in Chicago, but ended up being 0-3. And then you had one you had an Arizona tournament for for the Philadelphia Wiffle Club, where they go 3-0. And then this one they fall to 0-2-1, and find themselves out of the playoffs, just not able to get the bats going. Didn't allow the pitching was all right, but they only scored one run in 3 games, and that's not going to get the job done. 99 times out of 100, so uh, that'll
Yeah,
affect
I
their
think
place.
yeah, that was tough. I think like they they try to go with a similar strategy as they did against the Naturals, which was to throw Dom against the Saguaros. And Dom just wasn't able to find it like he did against the Naturals with a clean ball. Because Dom throws clean. They're known for like Spencer Foss and Dom both throw clean. And so they were hoping for that because Dom can get it in there pretty well with clean with the velo. So I think they're really hoping um and I don't think they knew, but like Nick Martinez played Palisades, which clean ball. Like Lede likes hitting clean balls. They told me like they practice with a couple guys who are clean ball guys, and so I don't think they really expected for them to be super prepared for clean ball, but they were, and so they were on it and they won, and I think it caught them a little off guard with that game.
Yeah, I mean, plus
And the Meats game was a tough one.
there's some controversy in there, but I mean, even like Lede and Nick Martinez, they were just out of the Mobile Classic as well, and they won that. So they were used to seeing
Yeah,
clean
my
ball
bad.
there
I
out a
didn't even
lot.
literally played Mo with yeah, where that's like yeah. So like yeah, it's I think honestly, I'm not saying like they were like it was still I think it was like 2-0 4-0 game. Like it wasn't a crazy game, but I honestly think they should have probably threw Josh Wheeler against the Saguaros because after you lose that first game, you're kind of like we need to win the next one.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think they had that mind. I don't think they understood that mindset in that moment.
Dom went the well. Yeah, it looked like Dom just went the first inning, and then Caden Rice came in for the second and third inning. This is all according to the Grand Slam scoreboard. So if it's incorrect, blame them. It's not our fault. But it seemed like they got the runs off of Caden. Um, Got a Paul Marshall double, RBI double, two RBI double, I should say, and then Nick Martinez had a solo home run in the third inning to get them across, and then Will pitched this game. Okay, so Will
Oh, Will
pitched
did
the
throw? Will through this game? Oh,
Will pitched the first
yeah.
game of the
Oh,
day.
that's it.
Very,
That was smart, actually. That
threw
was really
very well.
smart. I
Four
didn't
innings
think about
pitched,
that.
2 walks, 11 strikeouts. So,
Yeah.
just I mean, it puts Philadelphia in a tough spot right now to try to advance themselves into the final
Yeah.
six.
I was gonna say, yeah. I think like especially with like only the top 8 teams making it, like it's big as soon as that first game happens, like that loss, it's like you should go straight to like the best option. And I think and the thing was is Dom was that. Dom did really well in Arizona, and I just think he was like they said he was like he told me he was barely missing the zone. So I think like if Dom would have just found the zone, it would have been a different game. But yeah, like that was a tough one for them.
Yeah, it is what it is. We get to the playoffs though. We have some really good games here in the playoffs. Uh, the Mirage beat the Green Apples 2-0. Just to start that off, trying to look at that exactly also to confirm it. Yep, 2-0, with 2 home runs by Jackson Albers. It looks like.
Yeah, what a guy. He's a dog. Sing it well all day.
So Tommy Hernandez 2 home runs there off of Reed Warner. The Pandas defeat the Bats in that quarterfinals game, and then he had a very good game. On in the 1-8 matchup, you had the Naturals taking on the Boston Harbor Hawks. You get
Yeah. Jeez. What a
you get a finals rematch from Arizona, and you get a pitching rematch as well of Connor Chaseau versus Randy Dalby. And both these guys were throwing extremely well. And Connor threw 7 innings, only one base runner, and that was a walk. Struck out 16 there, and then Randy Dalby ended up with 6 2/3 innings, allowed 2 hits, gave up 1 run, and an extra started. I think it was the 7th inning. By the 7th inning you start with a runner on second. I believe the Naturals just had 2 groundouts that advanced the runner each time, missed the zone each time to win the game. So a weird way to win, but at the end of the day, Naturals got the job done in 7 and advance on in a very tight game. Maybe do we need to see? Maybe, what do we need? We need to see. I can't speak. Wow.
I don't even know what you're trying to say.
Maybe figure out the strategy for Boston to be able to avoid that 8th seed or something, because
Well, they made the finals with it. Yeah, I was gonna say it bit them there, but they made the finals with it. I think it's just like Connor Jason's just on a mission. Like it's just hard, and hopefully, and I think their hitting is just struggling a little more than I think people expected because the Harbor Hawks lineup looks really strong. With Dahl, you have Randy, Jake Sullivan, Ethan Weiner, Jim Ballion, and Jonathan Dalby, and then also Tom Gannon, and you have some of the better hitters in the country on that team. But I think they just when it comes to those big time moments, they haven't had those ones with hitting yet, except that 2 run homer with Randy in the semis. But so I don't think they've had as much success with the bat yet in the playoffs that they were hoping.
Well, it seems like the only person they haven't had success off though is Connor. He's the only person to defeat them in the playoffs. So, it's
True.
And combined between the 2 games, Connor's thrown 11 innings and only allowed 1 base runner. So
That's insane.
Insane. Not much you can do with that one, but they move on. Then we had a 2-7 matchup between the Scorpions and the Saguaros, 2 teams that just played each other in their last pool play game. This one was a little bit different though. We had Dan Whitener going for the Scorpions, and then the Saguaros went with Paul Marshall here for this game. Paul pitched extremely well. 4 innings pitched, only gave up 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk. As the Saguaros win this one 4-1. 2 runs were scored thanks to an Andrew Leday RBI triple. I believe it was a leadoff walk, and then Nick Martinez had one of the weirdest pop-up base hits I've seen. The ball looked like it was about 5 feet foul, then all of a sudden just ran back into the middle of the field, not able to be caught. And then Leday capitalized and took a screwball off the fence, which it was just left a little too much over the zone from Dan. I think he had 2 strikes on him as well, just a little bit too much. Scorpions did try to make a comeback. Paul was pitching extremely well, only allowed 2 base runners, and those base runners were both in the 3rd inning with 2 outs. Dustin finally got the first base runner with a walk, and then I doubled to left center just off the hands of Nick Martinez and off the fence to give us a run. Paul was able to work out of it though, and then in the bottom of the 4th, top of the 4th inning, I should say. The top of the 4th inning, Nick Martinez had himself a 2-run homer with 2 strikes on him in the top of the 4th. Ended up bringing 2 more runs. Had a nasty collision out there in the outfield between Jackson Pearson and the fat one.
Get out of here, and Steven.
Yeah, my knee. I think my knee has finally stopped. I had bruise. We collided knees, and then he felt his the top of his kneecap dug into the side of my knee, and then I think he fell back and hit his head a bit. it was a little rough. I mean, it was not rough because of that, just because it was also a 2-run homer. It was just out of our reach. It was like very much a line drive. The ball probably didn't go more than 10 feet off the ground, but it was hit well, just out of the reach of Jackson Pearson. We're both going for it in the outfield, and we just.
Yeah.
I slightly slowed down at the very end, but I think he was going pretty much about full speed into my with knee to knee contact. So I think my legs finally stopped
Swelling.
getting showing color. Uh, I still have I think I still have a I think I still have a bump from there, but finally some of the color has been going away, some of the bruising's gone away. But after that, Paul sat us down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the fourth inning. I think I had a ground ball was the only other ball in play, but Saguaros take that one 4-1 to advance themselves to the semifinals and get revenge for their pool play loss against us. They got it done when they needed to, and the Saguaros didn't. I do want to be. I do want to be fair. A lot of people had and be honest, but no, a lot of people had expectation like championship winning every time expectations for a team like the Las Vegas Scorpions, and now I've lost in the semifinals and lost in the quarterfinals here. I know you're busy with your games, but what do you think you've been seeing with the Scorpions that has not led them to have the success that many were expecting, and what do they need to do?
I think, well, I don't, the thing with the Scorpions is I don't think there's really much that they need to change. I just think like the turn, like a big part of like when they're run with UFs is like stuff went their way. Like that just happens. Like when you're making a good run, you're playing well and stuff's going their way. And I just think some of it hasn't gone their way. Um, I think like some situation like the Preston ball didn't go like that sucked in Arizona and um like I think Dan came out and I think Dan was like Dan was trying to do what he needed to do, and sadly he faced two really good hitters in Lede and Nick who are on fire right now, and it just didn't go their way. But like you're hitting like the Saguaro or sorry not the Saguaros, the Scorpions hitting stats are really good. Like they're the second. I think you guys have the second most consistent averages on the team. So it's like you guys are hitting well, you guys are pitching well. It's just like one game, it just doesn't go your way, and that's okay. And I think that's why I'm really excited to see the Scorpions. I have the Scorpions making the finals in the next tournament because I think everything will click. We took a longer break, and I think Dan is hungry to help the Scorpions win.
It sounds like Dan's arm is a little healthier as well. I mean, we all know how much he pitched at
Yes,
UIS and
and that's
how good he
yeah,
was
and that's
there.
that's in addition to like that. Like Dan threw so much at UFs, and then 3 weeks later went back out to play Arizona, and then 3 weeks later went back out to Chicago. And so it's like he's riding high on the UWIF. I think he's now starting to get some time off, relax, arm feeling better. So like I'm excited to watch Dan pitch in LA.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with the Scorpions. I do want to be want to keep it fair. The Scorpions. I mean, I think I've been underperforming so far, and I point out the bad with
Yeah.
other teams. I want to make sure we point out the bad with our own as well. But Scorpions do fall here in this one 4-1. We have only lost 2 games here in this circuit, and then tied one. Just lost to by two of the other top three teams. I mean, yeah, listen, the Saguaros and the Naturals were the 3 top teams in my opinion going into this, and unfortunately we lost to both of them when it matters most. So got to try to find a way to turn that around, and we'll see if that happens. But
Okay, we lost some too, twice.
yeah. Well, we're about to talk about that. About to talk about that game as well. First we'll look at the Pandas.
Yeah.
A Saguaros game. That one ended up being a 6-0 game in favor of the Saguaros. Angela Day had all 6 RBIs, going 3 for 5 with
Jeez.
3 home runs. 3 for 5, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, and Will Marshall threw a one hitter in this game. One hit, one walk, and 9 strikeouts. Um, it seemed like the Pandas just ran out of gas, and I think Brody literally ran out of gas in this one, as as he tried to
That
get
gives
through
it.
this one pitching, but
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Saguaros were hot from playing the Scorpions, continued that on, even added more, and then I know Jackson came in and I think Andrew had a homer off of him as well. So yeah, not a super close game at the end. The second inning where things broke open, but it was I mean I'm not surprised at all the Saguaros were able to make a finals appearance here in one of these tournaments.
Yeah, and I think I think it's like Pandas like that they made it to the semis was like huge. Like I don't think like they should not be upset with losing that game. Like Brody was trying to give everything he had, and so that's what I'm saying. They should be very happy with how Chicago went, and then take that momentum with them into LA because they did well. They made it to where they needed to make it possible for them to make it to the World Series.
Yeah, yeah, it puts them in a much better spot than they were after Arizona. That's for sure. I go
I
for
will say, I do want to say this, and I love you, Pandas, but until y'all can hit velo and hit a top arm, except Brody, because I know Brody has, like until you guys can get on top of a top arm, it's gonna be tough because in LA that's people are going to be ready. We took a big break, so a lot of arms are going to be healthier. That includes them too, but like a lot of arms that were kind of like getting rushed through UIFs are going to be healthier now and ready to go. So you're going to see people ready to throw, and you're going to see like teams like the Naturals where they're going to be fully healthy, all of their arms, and you're going to see like us with all of our arms healthy. And so I'm just saying, like Pandas, if you want to make the playoff or if you want to make that run to the World Series, got to get on top of a pitcher with some velo, some good stuff.
All right, Logan.
That's all I got.
Logan, this is your chance to set up the Pandas Mirage pool play game one to start off the day. This is your
Dude,
chance
I want it.
this
Yeah,
is your
and
chance to set it up and see if you can
dude, I want it.
see
I
who the
want
Mirage
that
throw out
game
for that
because
velo aspect.
I
So
want. I told Logan on his podcast that I would love because the Blue Giants and Pandas played each other all the time last year. Now let's just do Pandas Mirage. Let's do it. Pool play. That'd be awesome. No, and it's not a knock on them because they did really well this last tournament. But like they're gonna run into another Will Marshall or Bryce Clark, Stephen Hayden. Dustin Staggs, Connor Jaso, Mick Whitty.
oh, we're not throwing
Um,
aces that early. We're not throwing Connor
no, my bad, my bad.
or Dustin that
But like,
early.
there's so many top tier arms. Like even like guys like P. Combe, who's looking really good in his role, or um, guys like Brett Kalady, who's like hungry, like Brett Kalady and Joaquin and Brian, who are hungry for the Orcas to get some revenge and try to make the playoffs. Like they're gonna come out strong, so it'll be cool to see how the Pandas respond to arms being healthier and throwing a little harder. Because I will say, I've seen Logan turn on the ball really well recently, and if Brody's gonna do Brody things, I'm interested to see and Joey did really well in Chicago, so I'm interested to see like how Joey hits and Jackson and Carson and Luke to back up Logan and Brody with their hitting.
Yeah, I think about the same can be said for any team though, in my opinion. In terms of
True.
being ready for this one because they'll be. I think. There's been some controversy amongst the BLW community that we'll talk about in a little later, but uh, I think a lot of people are going to try to prove a point out there, so we'll see. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll finish off through these games first. We'll start. Well, we'll get it with the other semifinals game with your team taking on the Naturals. Uh,
Mm.
Another extra inning game. The first one was 7 innings from the Naturals. This one also a 7 inning game between the Naturals and the Mirage. Naturals get the scoring started with a Connor Jaso single. End up scoring 1 run, and then with four in the fourth inning with 2 outs, down to your last out, you end up hitting a home run off of Jaso to keep you guys in the game. I'll let you have your moment. Just
Yeah.
go through that with us.
Well, yeah, just first want to add like I just want to bring up like Braden Eberhardt throwing he was literally like sick and he threw a no hitter against the Green Apples, then was throwing 2 shutout, so he was giving everything he had. Cam came in to relieve, and he gave up one of Braden's runs, but it was like Jason just got his bat around for a check swing and got it over our heads. And so I was like, my phrase like that tournament was I want to continue playing wiffle ball. Like I want to keep playing wiffle ball. Like I want to play until we can't like we're not allowed to anymore. So that was like and so in that at bat I got down 2-0 and Jason I think was just trying to get a strike by me to work keep working the count and I literally like I promise you my eyes lit up and I was like holy frick. Like I was like holy frick I'm gonna swing right now. And I did and I was so tired. I literally was so tired that I just stood there and watched. Like it wasn't even like I was trying to like do anything to like I was just tired. And I look at my mom and I'm like my mom's still in the crowd and I look at her and I just do that's where the shrug. I was just like and I literally was like I literally was my mom just like kind of my mom I'm going like we're gonna keep playing some wiffle ball now. It's time to keep playing. So I just gave her a little shrug and I was like, let's go. And then I just so I was like, and then finally, like after like you in the video, can you see after a few seconds, I finally realized I was like, holy frick, I just hit a homer to keep like I just hit the game tying homer, and then like, that's when it finally clicked. But I was really tired. But yeah, I literally like right before that bat too, I fell to my knees like praying to God, like God, please God, let me just continue this game for us, give me the strength to do whatever I can to help the team, and He blessed me with the homer. So it was really cool. But you'll keep explaining the game. So.
It was I mean, it's the first run Jace was giving up so far in Arizona, as well with that swing. Game kept going on. A couple scoreless innings in the fifth and the sixth, and then the seventh inning ended up being a walk off single there by Vin Lee. Took one right back up the middle to win that game for the Naturals 2-1. I did want to ask you because in that seventh inning they started with a runner on second. I noticed you guys were started with two outfielders and only one infielder. I was curious on the thought process with that.
Um, If I don't really remember to be honest like that. I was very tired. Like and but I was just like I think I can't remember. I think Cam just asked us to like do it. He was just like, "Can you do that?" Well, okay, so Cam asked us to do it. And I think his thought process is Vin Lee tends to because Vin Lee likes lower pitching, and his swing can sometimes dip a little bit sometimes. He was kind of I think he was like, okay, I'm gonna get like because Cam's really good at locating, so I think like Cam was like, all right, I'm gonna locate the ball to where it causes Vinley to pop out, and so we're prepared for the fly ball to stop the homer or stop a ball in the air, then a ball on the ground. Because he was like, if I, he's like, I'll he told me he's like, I'll cover the right side on a ball on the ground. You guys just worry about the fly ball so we can keep it in play. Because Vin was their Vin and Jason were the two hottest hitter. Like Vin has been hitting really well, and he's super clutch. So I think he was just nervous about the ball going over the fence and getting in air than a ball on the ground getting by him.
Yeah. I mean, I think you get out about eight infielders in there. I don't think that ball's getting stopped. So
Yeah, he smoked that.
it was right back, pretty much on. It just about missed hitting Cam. So I don't think you want to stop that with with everyone in the infield,
No,
anyways.
we would have to put someone right in front of it, but even then, that ball smoked. Yeah, Cam threw so well too. Cam was giving everything he had. He threw earlier too against the Orcas and gave up only one, and so Cam was just giving everything he had, and it was awesome to watch because you really got to see because like Cam is Cam Smith. Like Cam Smith is in like 2022 like the number one pitcher in the world or a top five pitcher in the world, and in 2022, 2023, and then he had some shoulder problems, and so kind of to see Cam like in like retro, like not even retro form, but like a brand new version of him where it's very crafty, hitting his spots, locating, and being able to do it for 2 games was really cool to see, and that makes us very excited for LA.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, good result for you guys. You guys to improve on your Arizona finish as well. I'm gonna take credit for your home runs though, because I brought that bat out. That bat was not coming out without me.
You can take
Uh,
credit. You can take
because
credit.
that was Gabe's bat. That was Gabe's $50 moonshot that I
Moonshot.
also brought back from York to him. So I get I pretty that's
You
pretty
just
much just nearly my bat at this point. So if you put that bat in my bag again, Gabe, it's going home with me.
Oh yeah,
So
Steven, could you bring my moonshot out to Texas? Oh wait. Oh, you're not going to Texas. Dang it.
well,
I have to find a new
we can
way.
get
Oh
another
man.
podcast, but um, Actually, might not be a bad idea to have someone else take the bat bag out because I also have some other bats that need to be out there, so that are not mine.
I'll take it.
So
We'll talk about it later, but I can do that
yeah,
for you.
that's a couple months from now. But Naturals do win this one 2-1 in extras, setting themselves up in the final versus the Arizona Saguaros. No, I mean, also kind of worked that you guys lost. You guys were able to make your flights home and stuff like that.
Yeah, specific. I was able to fly home with my mom. Yeah, that was a very long day. That was tiring.
Yeah, Braden kept talking, and then so we had a good little laugh about I was we didn't have to worry about missing your flight now, and then unfortunately Braden did not lead the league in bats thrown that day like he did in Arizona. So
Oh my gosh. Of course.
should have had that in there.
Okay, big. Like, get ahead of it.
So
Well, yeah, Braden was also like pitching and playing through like a stomach flu. It was crazy. Both Gabe and Braden ended up getting like a stomach flu from like something they ate. It was interesting. It was crazy.
yeah, it happens. We get to that final versus the Naturals and the Saguaros. I'll finally talk about it. Ends up being a 1-0 win for the Naturals. you know, during the middle of your game with the Naturals, Logan subs himself out for Trevor Bauer, and it ended up being a big decision in this one. He stuck with that in the lineup, ended up being the right decision here. Trevor in the top of the third led off with a double, and then with 2 outs, Jason was able to bring him in with a clean single. Brings across the only run in the game. Mike Whitty throws a 4-inning shutout, allows 2 walks, throws 11 strikeouts, only non-strikeout being the last out of the game. As the Naturals are able to take this one 1-0. Only 2 hits in the game.
Oh, I was going to say the Soros didn't get a hit, right?
No hits for the Saguaros. Had two walks. I think believe both Paul and Will had a walk. And then but Will pitched this game again. That was his 3rd game of the day. Allowed 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts for him. Overall, I believe Jason had the walk for the Naturals as well. So Naturals take their 2nd turn in a row, putting themselves in a pretty much guaranteed position to make it to the
99%.
to the final 6, and also pretty much a guaranteed position to get a top seed for that. So.
Yeah.
I mean, Naturals did their job.
They did what they needed to do.
They've done what they've needed to with that with that roster. I mean, pretty much everyone expected them to be a top one in the 1 or 2 spot for a team. I think some people had the Saguaros. The Scorpions. Some people had the Naturals as the number 1 team. I think those were pretty much 1 and 2.
I think
Naturals have done it.
And I think they were telling me, some of the Naturals guys were telling me like a big hunger factor for them was like them they put the Green Apples 1, and they were like, so they took that personal a little bit, and so they kind of proved that they're the number 1 ranked team so far for right now.
Yeah, for us it was it was interesting to see them as the 1 seed in Nico's post, but we haven't proven it so far. But Naturals have, and fair play to them. Connor was named tournament MVP again for the 2nd turn in a row. Had himself a great day out there. Even though he didn't pitch the final this time, Mike Whitty pitched the final and threw very well in the final. However, Connor led the whole tournament in hits and innings pitched. So 2nd innings pitch actually to Brody. He had 7 hits. Nick Martinez also had 7 hits on the tournament. Tommy had himself 6 hits, so that was something. That was Tommy, and then pitching wise, Jason only allowed the 1 run there in 14 or 15 innings of work. I believe it was 14. Yeah, 14 innings of work, 2 7-inning games. Ended up doing a great job there. Getting a 2nd straight MVP award. It's pretty much just about sealed up the MVP award for the whole.
I was about to say he's pretty much sealed the MVP. Like, I don't think there's any argument for.
I think he just has
MVP.
To show up, and he's probably got it. So,
yeah.
You never know. Someone could win the next 2 MVPs and be an absolute breakout, but the chances of that are highly unlikely.
Honestly, if Randy goes off the next two tournaments and could win one for the Harbor Hawks and picks up and can get a couple. I think Randy could compete for it because Randy's also another guy where like he's also been producing a lot for the Harbor Hawks and has been very valuable for them. So I can see him if he has a huge tournament in the next couple tournaments and a tournament win, he could help them out.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was just a quarterfinal. They lost in the quarterfinals, but it was a 7 inning game to the Naturals that they lost, and I believe Randy was also dealing with a foot problem. It was like he had like a it was like the day before or something. He like it was like stepped on glass and had that was like the bottom of his foot was
Whoa.
damaged or so he was pitching on something along those lines where his foot one of his feet were not feeling good. So uh, I mean
And he still feel like that's crazy.
yeah, but we'll see how he does in LA. We'll see all these two teams do in LA, but that's
Mhm.
it for these first two tournaments. We got two more coming up, and then there'll be the playoffs and the All Star game eventually. So looking forward to that.
No.
Speaking about some of this stuff with the playoffs, you also have the All Star game uh, that will be going on at that same time. And you have the All Stars that were recently announced for this. Was I'm trying to say? You had the All Star, the All Star voting done. You had the 12 that were named here. That being Connor Jaso, Tommy Hernandez, Brody Livingston, Nick Martinez, Randy Dalby, Andrew Lede, Vin Lee, Dustin Staggs, Jordan Robles, Preston Cullen, Reed Warner, and Josh Wheeler were the were the 12 vote winners in terms of to combine fan votes, player vote, and with awards committee votes. So uh, there was a lot of discussion about this about the bats and orcas don't have any all stars. There was lot of back and forth going on between different people on
Yeah.
social media. That's all I have to say about that. But what do you think? What do you think of this group? Or maybe do you think there might be some guys that maybe you think should have been on there?
I think the 12 is a good 12. I just wish there was more spots. Like I think you were snubbed of a spot, Steven, because I know you're hitting really well. And I just think like it's well, and I think Logan Rose brought up a good point. It's hard to pick 12 all-stars from 10 teams. Like it's just it is. It's hard to pick 12 guys out of a six how much so 10 times 6 out of 60 guys. Like it's really hard to pick 12. And so but I think the 12 that are there are really good. I think it would have been cool to see Steven. I think it would have really really cool to see you in there, Steven. I know you've earned it and you've played really well. And I know like what you've been going through. It also like is tough to continue playing and you still played at a really high level. And I also think like there's a couple like I think Cam has played really well, Braden. And also I think I know Whitney only played one tournament, but like he was really important for that tournament run he had for the Naturals, and it would have been cool to kind of see him. But I just think it would have been nice to have more roster spots, but I think it's a good 12 all-stars. Good list.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've talked about pretty much every guy here during the course of this podcast. So obviously, a lot of these guys have meant big things to their team, and congrats to those guys who did find themselves in the All Star
Yeah.
game. Um,
Can I say something real quick?
yeah,
I do want to shout out Bryson Livingston, Justin Hall, and Torrin Roth. I just think those are three guys that have played really well, and um, just I think just deserve some recognition of how well they've played. Just Justin Hall was the one who threw the shutout against the Green Apples and hit the double against them to win that game. And he had a shot going in against the Pandas, and the Pandas scored six in one inning in their quarters. And Bryson really stepped up his pitching this past one. I hope Bryson. I'm hoping that Bryson get some hits going. I think that's what was tough for him is like he hasn't shown the bat yet that he's shown in past tournaments and not yet in BLW. So and then Torrance just been hitting really well for the Orcas. So I'm really excited to see what they do in LA.
yeah. I mean, you have 12 spots. You're gonna have some guys left out.
Yeah, you're gonna have some guys
It
left
just
out.
is what
Yeah,
it
I just want
is.
to. Just want to give some recognition to those guys. Not saying like the other 12 don't deserve an A. I just like it's hard to pick 12, but I just want to give them recognition.
No, we all know you're saying someone doesn't deserve it. Go on, just say
That's not even true. Nope.
it. Go on, go
Nope.
for it. No
Nope.
one's judging.
Tommy Hernandez.
I'll mute the mic so you can say
Tommy
it.
Hernandez. Tommy Hernandez.
All right, you heard it here first. Tommy's giving away his moonshot because he doesn't think he deserves the spot. You heard it.
Wait, what? I'd rather give up my spot than my moonshot, to be honest. Someone can have my all-star spot. I want my moonshot. I'll just go. We're just gonna try to work hard to make playoffs as the Mirage, and we'll just go watch as a team.
Man.
Hey,
So,
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
all in good fun.
Oh,
speaking of stuff from social media, that the controversy came from one of Nico's posts. One thing I did want to look at, not BLW related, but just from the year, what was what was his top 25 list? Um,
mm.
had some interesting names on there. Uh, I mean, I mean, finding a top 25 for a sport like this where there's so much parity and variety in what people do and what they don't do is not easy. And you're always gonna have not always gonna have the most. I mean, we don't have to drop anymore, so uh, that's no longer a thing. Well, we did see you on the list there at number 21 for the year. This top players of 2025. I think this was mainly fast pitch stuff, but what were your thoughts on the list and the guys you saw on there?
I think this is great. I think Nico's a very hands-on. Like he's done a lot of filming. He's watched a lot of wiffle ball. I know he's young, but he's been very involved in the wiffle ball realm, especially that fast pitch realm. So I think he has a lot of knowledge of it. I was shocked I was on the list. I was asked from people like when like because of course like there's Big Dan. Big Dan is a very involved guy in the wiffle ball realm. He like told me he like asked he's like, do you think you're gonna be on the list? I was like, no, and I didn't think I was gonna be in the top 25 because I did well this year, but I also was like, there's other guys that played Ma a lot and that like deserve some recognition as well. And so I was very shocked to be put on this. I feel very blessed by God to be recognized, and I just feel like it was just a really cool moment. That was like a really cool like, holy crap, I'm on a top 25 list for 2025. It was really cool.
Yeah, just like with the BLW All Star thing, you're gonna have controversy of guys who make it and don't make it
Yeah,
onto a list like that. I mean, at the end of the day, what does this mean anything? I mean, not
no,
particularly, but
no.
uh,
To be honest, what only matters, and I don't know how this is how you feel. You might actually you might feel this way, especially because you guys sadly lost. But the only thing that matters to me is who wins that UF trophy. Like, and I want it to be me. Like, I honestly, at the end of the day, like you can hit 10 homers a tournament, but if you don't have that UF trophy in your hand by the end of that by October, that's to me or like NWLAT if NWLAT is big for them, like or like if you don't have those like national championship trophy tournaments, like Golden Stick Open, the Open, what is the Golden Stick Open tournament? What's
yeah,
it
the
called?
Open.
The Open. Like those three tournaments are the known national championship tournament for those styles. If you don't have that in your hand, to me, it's like, well, that's that's what matters to me is I want that national championship. I want that UF national championship trophy. That's
Yeah,
all. That's what I want.
it's the long time debate of stats over team success and things like that. I mean, it's a debate that can go for any sport. I mean, if you're hardly contributing but win, it's like doesn't mean all that much. Like it's just stuff like that. It's about finding the right balance of things. But we did see some other guys we know on here. Whole lot of guys that actually a whole lot of guys we know on here. We saw one of our own SoCal guys in Jackson Pearson there at number 11. Um,
Mhm.
we saw there's just a whole bunch of guys that we know and have played against. And the top three are all guys we know very well. I have Jordan Bonet at 3. Played against him many times. Dan Whitener at 2, who's with us at the Scorpions, and the Connor Jason was actually number 1 on the list.
I agree with that.
SoCal guy, and had himself a very nice year, even though, and it's just amplified that with BLW, getting the silverware there
And
as well. So
I will say there is one guy that I think that was snubbed off this list that or there's like one guy in my head right now that like I think that should have been on the list. Honestly, should have took my spot on the list. And that's Sean Bingnier. Because Sean Bingnier had an amazing year and was a big reason why Ridley Park won Ma and was a big reason why Ridley Park made it to the round of 16 because they didn't have Brendan Bowes for the round for US, which was a big loss for them. He's their Brendan Bowes is their ace pitcher. And Sean Bignier took a lot of the pitching role with Cam Farr and Teddy Drescher. And I just think he should have been. I like looked. I thought he was on it, and he wasn't. And that's one guy like in my head, like as I like think of the top 25, he was a top 25 player this year in my opinion. And I think he honestly should take my spot because they won Ma like that. I think the team success in winning Ma is huge, and he was a big part of that with his pitching. Like his he huge year for pitching for what he did, and he's really good. And so that's just someone I wanted to point out. I love you, Sean. If you're watching this, I hope you are, Sean. You're the goat. You're the best, Sean. I can't wait to compete against you again this year, this in 2026. Love you, Sean. You're the goat.
there are a bunch of guys that can be made. I can have a case for stuff like this. So, um, number of different names. So, at the end of the day, is this list 100% accurate, or is it going to mean a whole lot to a lot of people? No, but it's a list, and it's something at least. So, it's that's the main thing for that. So, um, yeah, I was. I guess can't avoid the elephant in the room too much. I was number 4 on that list. So I was on there as well. So
Yeah.
that was cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was pretty much the. I was pretty interesting with that. Just nice to see some stuff. Nice to see some stuff out there. At least some off season football content and things like that. Uh, speaking of Wolf, I feel like the transitions are just leading themselves in perfectly. But speaking of wiffle ball content, one thing I did want to touch on that I thought of during the podcast to make sure that we talked about and discussed was the MLW World Series. That those videos have been finished uploading and things like that, and we were part of the group that helped help with set up and move things to be able to make that happen there on LMU. Just being involved and being on the field and things like that. With all the videos being posted, I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on the day and what you thought of what you thought of everything overall with that day in general, being up in LMU, being around everyone and watching the series take place.
It was awesome. I had a blast. It was so much fun to help out. I got to work merchandise too with the with the Schultz dad and mom. So it was just so much fun. I had a blast. It was awesome. I can't even. It was just so cool and getting to be on the field and hoping to be part of that next year is just. It was really cool. It was really fun. Like be in that environment from going from watching the videos to seeing it live was awesome. What about you, Steven?
Yeah, it was. It was very cool to see. My phone's about to die, so I just need to make sure it's charging. That's why I'm looking over there. It was cool. It was cool to see the series in person and be able to see it that close and just talk about stuff with Dustin, stuff I'm seeing that from the outsider perspective and things like that to try to help them. Obviously, I know guys on both teams. I mean, it would have been okay personally with either team winning. Just was hoping for some good games, and there were definitely some good games there you could see on the MLW Football channel. Ended up going 5, ended up going to extras in Game 5, so Mallards win that one. Unfortunately for the SoCal faithful, Dustin was not able to
Ugh.
win that one. Blew another 2-1 lead, it seems.
Another second place finish for
It was
Dustin.
another second place finish for him and Sawyer.
Sawyer. That's
Uh,
just the tough part. It's just for sadly for Dustin, it was the year of seconds. second place. Like
Well,
he
some
got
some
second in a
people
lot
would
of
say
things.
coming in second would be good, but not in these
Not in
scenarios.
I would say not in any tournament standpoint or World Series standpoint. Second feels good.
Well, I mean,
Actually,
it's
it
it's
doesn't
not
feel great.
horrible.
Not horrible. It just doesn't feel great.
I mean,
I
finish
will
scenario
say.
U wasn't horrible. I'd say. I
Yeah,
mean,
that
it
was
wasn't
fantastic. That's what I'm
first,
saying.
but
It's a great outing, but it just sucks to lose it. Like you're right there.
yeah, yeah.
You, you
Tell us about it.
Yeah, and I think what's for Dustin, I think it was like really, it was just it was his hometown. Like he was the only California, he's the only California playing MLW, and they play the World Series in California, and he was playing really, and he was like on pace to be World Series MVP or co with like Sawyer. I know Sawyer also was doing well, but like Dustin was hitting like crazy, like he was getting a hit consistently, and then it just yeah, so it was tough. It was a really fun to watch though.
Yeah. It was good to watch in person. Good to meet some of the other guys and see some people again. Uh, I will say, and I doubt he would. I doubt this. I mean, maybe if I talk to him, yeah, this clip would it's shown to him. But I thought Cratch was giving me the death stare when the first time I saw him. I thought he was. I thought it was going to be like, okay, I'm just going to leave this guy alone and just let him do his thing. I was like, okay, maybe he's not going to be a big fan, but ended up being the opposite later on. So I just
Literally the opposite.
it
Ryan
seemed like
Crouch
at first he
loves
was just like,
giving hate.
just shoulders back, head high, just kind of examining me as I went through. I was like, oh, all right, this is interesting, but
Steven Ryan Crouch loves Big Sexy. That was a guaranteed. So does Jimmy Norp. Jimmy Norp is a huge fan of Big Sexy. Does Jimmy Norp follow you on the gram on Instagram?
I don't know, maybe I couldn't tell you. So it's classified information.
Oh, sure, Big
I
Sexy.
I don't know. I'm not gonna put
Or
Jimmy on the
or
spot,
or known as possibly sometimes as the Big Sex.
or I have a name too. That also works.
Uh, oh my gosh, Jimmy Norp follows you. Holy frick, that's insane.
Oh, we also played against each other in the mitten final.
I know, but like so I have a buddy who's his name's Ethan. He loves like wiffle ball and he loves like the Jumbo Median. So we're like really like we love talking about it. And he told me he's like the one guy he hopes like that follows me and he wants to like hopefully meet when it is Jimmy Norp like in that realm. And so like that he follows you is crazy. Like I like because I want Jimmy Norp to follow me. I love Jimmy Norp. I can't wait to meet Jimmy Norp more in 2026. He's awesome. He was so cool to meet in 2020 in US 2025. That was awesome.
We'll see what happens. It was a good time out there at the World Series. Um, appreciate the people showing up. The videos were done extremely well. Especially the game 5. I thought the mixture of stuff and how things were done was very well done. One of the better edited videos I've seen in a while. So it was cool to be there in person and see it and know the result beforehand. But
Yeah.
that was pretty much it for the MLW World Series. Anything else you could think of or want to discuss?
I not really. I think we covered a lot today, and I think we covered a lot in the past week with UF. So
Yeah.
honestly, it's just more like I think it's like for us, I'll say like the Mirage is like we're just getting ready for LA and just I'm gonna say like I'm gonna enjoy the holidays. I'm gonna enjoy resting, playing a little bit of wiffle ball when I can, and just enjoying just relaxing.
Yeah,
What about you?
absolutely. Yeah, this is the last podcast going out before the year. So this will be out after this one. The part one of the podcast will be out on Christmas Eve. I'm currently finishing the editing as we record this actually, and then this one will be out sometime before the New Year. So Merry Christmas to those who celebrated or whatever holiday it is, and then Happy New Year coming up soon. You guys will. Well, I'll try to have the podcast a little more consistent in 2026. We'll have to figure some things out with Tommy moving to Ohio eventually during the year. We'll have to work on the timing for that. But we'll see where we go. We'll see where this goes, and I just want to keep talking and uh,
Yeah.
doing more wiffle ball stuff, and we'll go from there as we finish off 2025, which is a very eventful year, with a with a lot of success and
A lot of success.
lot of new pages turning, and we move on to 2026.
Yep. I would say Merry Christmas, but I think this is going to come out after Christmas. So I hope you guys all had a great Christmas. I hope you guys had a very jolly Christmas. But
You could say Happy New. This one's going out before the New Year, so you could say
yeah,
Happy New
that's what I'm
Year.
saying. Happy New Year to everyone. Excited for 2026 with. I'm excited to talk and more about it with Steven and Justin. And I'm excited to be more involved in the wiffle ball world, being more involved in the community. I'm very excited. And my move to Ohio, it's going to be blissful. God has been very good this 2025, and He's going to continue being good because God is always good, and He's always with us, and He's amazing. So I'm very excited to continue what Jesus and God has planned for me and my friends.
Yeah, that'll do it for us here in 2025. This is Tommy Hernandez on the right side of the screen. This is me, Steven, on the left side of the screen. Thank you guys for if you came back and have survived at this point. I don't know how you've listened to all this, but uh, we we appreciate it. We'll see you more in 2026.
Hi,
We'll,
Brody Livingston.
con-
I love you.
we'll continue talking, playing with football, organizing with football, and talking with football as we go along here. So, thank you guys for listening. We will see you guys for episode 63.